After passing the home screen workspace, here is the default Photoshop interface. For the first time, it seems complicated, difficult, and even scary, but rest assured, because, in this video, we would simplify it as best we can. Firstly, our interface consists of: first, a menu bar, also known as the top panel, which encompasses almost all the functions offered by Photoshop. Composed of 12 menus. We will not explain in detail each tab, because it will take us hours, or even days, but have a brief idea of each function in order to remove this ambiguity. Let us start with the first tab. It is File. In this tab, you will be prompted to use the functions of saving, opening, and closing files. Import and export documents. It also allows to print a document or save it. In other words, the File tab is the administrative tab of Photoshop. The second tab is Edit. It presents the basic features to work on our document, like the famous copy, cut, paste, or the cancel function to go back in case of error. The third tab is Image, which includes everything related in terms of image processing and correction, at the level of brightness, contrast, or color. It is thanks to this menu that we define our way of working, as well as our space where we will also work. The fourth tab is the Layer menu. This term should not help you to guess the contents of this menu, since it is a specific concept of Photoshop and software of the same kind. In fact, the layer is a non-destructive working method, which allows you to return each time to your settings and modify them at any time, and it is even the working philosophy of Photoshop and Adobe software. The fifth tab is the Type tab, which includes all the features related to typography and text, like changing the font size, working with the character and paragraph panel, or setting the language options. The sixth tab is the Select tab, dedicated to all the features related to the selection of objects, images, shapes, texts, etc. The seventh tab is the Filter tab. It is in fact a large library of special effects to apply on your images, to give them a rendering quite different from their basic appearance. There are different types of filters. Moreover, are particularly powerful and widely used in graphic design, photography, etc. The eighth tab is the 3D tab. Photoshop is not a 3D modeling and rendering software. However, with recent versions, it can create simple 3D text, basic modeling, like a bottle or other mock-ups, which does a graphic designer generally use. Having its own 3D workspace, this tab allows you to manage the integration of the functions that Photoshop offers in this field. The ninth tab, this is the View tab. As its name indicates, the display parameters are grouped in this menu, such as the famous full screen, guides, layouts, and different display formats. The 10th tab, this is the External Module menu, or called also Plugins menu, which appeared recently in Photoshop. This menu allows managing and organizing plugins and external options that are not deliverable with the software. The 11th tab is the Window tab. This menu allows you to configure your workspace in this sense, and you will be able to decide which window to display or disappear when you work on a document. It also allows managing and organizing the interface according to your requirements. The 12th and last tab is the Help tab, which offers some basic tutorials, information about the system, or about Photoshop. We can say that the upper panel, and so rich in functionality and options. However, we cannot deny that it is very well organized. Let us move on to the second element of our interface. The Options bar. The Options bar is a dependent bar according to our toolbox. By default, it is selected on the first tool. If we change from one tool to another, the bar changes option. In other words, the Options bar allows you to pre-configure your tool before using it. The third element of the interface is the Toolbox. This small window is our stock of tools, in other words, the kit in which we will find a pair of scissors, brushes, colored pencils, eraser, drawing tools, paint, or selections tools. Composed of several tools for drawing, editing, adding text, vector shape, etc. In the next videos, we will better address their use and function. The fourth element is the panels, are small windows that are available inside the workspace, and from which we will have access to the majority of Photoshop features. Among them, I can quote you, layers, colors, adjustments, etc. Fifth and the last element of our interface, which is the hidden floating palette. This area hosts and lists the shortcuts of the panels. The principle is simple: you place all the floating palettes you want inside this small area, and then they turn into small vignettes that you will then only have to unfold to make them return to a normal appearance. Here is a quick tour of the interface. Now we will explore how to navigate into the interface easily. Take note that the Photoshop interface can be changed at any time. We can reduce or display the windows with these small triangles. Some tools in the toolbox are equipped with small triangles. In fact, this means that this tool also has other tools, or variants. You just have to press on them to make them appear. Move the tabs on each other easily. Fill in our interface by displaying other panels and tabs via the window menu. And if you are lost by all of its changes, we can reset the workspace. Always, through the window menu, workspace. Reset the essentials, which is the default workspace. The best thing about the interface is that you can change the workspace too. By default we are on the essential workspace. We can change to other workspaces. We have painting, photography, graphics, and web. We can create our own workspace. To do this, simply choose one that already exists, modify it by adding or deleting other tabs and panels. Creates a quick example term. Remove some panels through the Window tab. Place them throughout the interface. Then go to the Window menu, Workspace, creates a new workspace. He asked me to rename it. Now, I hope that you have no secrets about the interface. Feel free to create custom workspaces to be more productive.